I haven't got time to mark this motherfucker. Here we go again. We can't hear anybody. Nobody can talk to anybody.
You guessed it, Pressure Points with your two favorite hosts. I'm D, and this is Coors Banquet Beer AJ. We're coming at you with Season 7, Episode 16, Dublin's Fiery Whiskey River. It's going to be a fucking spicy one in Ireland today. So find us on Instagram and Patreon, pointsopressure.com. Let's get fucking to it.
Well, turn the fucking thing off, you dumbass.
You almost slipped up. You almost let him slip that we're neo-Nazi sympathizers.
No, I didn't.
That's a little early on in the audio.
I didn't do that. I don't know what you're talking about.
We've got a lot to talk about. Actually.
Yeah. Now that we've been sitting here for a fucking
an hour talking,
the episode's been done for 2. Or the notes have been done for 2.
Yeah. So where do you want to start?
So, how was your week?
Oh, that's where you want to start?
We'll just start with that. Yeah, we'll shift into everything.
It was bad. Spent it with some fucking idiot in the middle of the desert.
Same.
No, it was great, dude. I mean, I had a blast. Cool. I was thinking about it. I got sore from our little excursion.
Weirdly enough, I didn't. I wasn't sore at all, and I was like, hey,
I hiked twice as much as you, so.
Yeah, twice as much.
Yeah, no, maybe another mile.
Up one fucking little thing.
Maybe
I forgot you
mile.
went that little extra thing.
I had a little.
But
extra.
yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. But I will set that tent on fire.
Oh yeah, no, I've got a better
one
one in my Amazon cart right now.
Don't buy it.
I'm not going to buy it.
I have that other one that I need to open up.
I'm not going to buy it
out.
from Amazon. I'm going to go to the brand page and buy it directly from them.
Don't buy it anyway. Because I have another one
that's
huge that I mean, it's not huge, but it's worth looking at before you purchase it to see if it's worth it.
Maybe. This one's pretty good. It's a trekking pole tent.
Fucking consumer.
Trying to hit that ultralight.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut that pack weight down.
We'll check out that one that I have and see if
we'll have to look at it. So we
and shit.
Went out. You can Google Earth this one. It's not doxing because we're not there anymore. Yeah. To the Silver Island Mountains in the West Desert, north of Wendover, which is the border of Utah and Nevada, which means it's just above the Salt Flats.
Yeah.
Which means it's in the middle of buck-ass nowhere.
A 30-minute off-road drive from Wendover.
Yeah, and it was beautiful.
Yeah,
we hiked. We drove up a 2-track little road and made it way further than I thought the car could make it, but
we got as far as it would fucking take us. You could go like 30 more feet if you made it around that little wash.
Yeah, but it was great, and we hit up some mines that have been covered, which was sad, but
still cool.
Man, it was beautiful. There were
some
ridges, some valleys, some mines. I don't know. It was good.
Found some tailings that had little pieces of copper and shit in them.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was fun as hell.
A little bit of exploration, and then we went back. The campsite was amazing. Like the site that we chose, it was besides the wind.
Beautiful views, yeah. Wind sucked, but I mean,
we were kind of up.
Honestly, there wasn't really any at night, so I don't give a fuck about the wind.
Yeah, thank goodness. But it was kind of like up on a hill.
Yeah.
Like on 3 sides.
Kind of drop off.
So you can kind of see.
It's pretty sweet.
All around, and it really hammered home the remote in the middle of the desert.
Holy shit, yeah.
Really hammered that in.
The closest people to us, I don't even think they had a fire. I think they just had a light, and it was like just a speck, like a little speck.
Yeah, it was a tiny...
They were easily like 4 or 5 miles away. They were way fucking out there. Super remote, didn't run into anybody after those people.
Oh, yeah, there was like a marathon or something, so I had to drive real slow on the dirt road because there were just people running.
On the middle of nowhere.
And I kept thinking, like, did I pass, like, hey, don't drive on this, like a sign or anything?
I thought the same thing, but
there were no signs.
The fact that we had those people that were driving ahead of us.
Yeah.
When we missed the turn, I was like, weird. Nah, we're fine. Fuck them.
It was weird because it was, I mean, it wasn't too hot for the desert, but it was
cool,
dusty, sandy. Learned some stuff about some new gear I've gotten.
Yeah.
Figured out where we need to upgrade, like the tent that neither of us... we're not tall.
Yeah. Somehow you didn't fit in a tent.
Somehow I lengthwise did not fit in a tent.
Yeah. Holy shit. That thing was
so
bad.
So tiny.
I got the worst night of sleep in my entire life. Yep. I think I got like 15 minutes total. Not that bad, but it was fucking.
Yeah. It was basically off and on the entire night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it was still cool.
I don't know. I always expect to sleep like shit on those trips
I expect
anyway.
to sleep like shit, but not that fucking bad.
Not
dude.
that bad.
That was hell on earth for me. And the whole time I was just like, I'm gonna wait until he gets up to go pee, and then that's when I'm gonna be like, I'm moving to the car, because I was like, I'm not gonna climb over you. I'm not gonna be like,
you should have bounced.
Hey, I'm gonna get over you or whatever, wake you up. Because from what I could tell, you were just out, and I was like, all right, whatever. But as soon as you got up, that's why I was like, okay, and I was right behind you. So I was I'm sleeping in the fucking car.
I also slept like absolute ass, but I do this thing when I'm trying to sleep or like when I need to sleep that I just like pretend like I'm asleep. Like I'm not going to move a fucking muscle, and I'm going to focus on it's like Kill Bill. You focus on your big toe.
Oh,
and then I go through every toe, and then I go on the heel of the foot or the palm, and then the heel, and I just am conscious of that body part.
I see.
For a couple of seconds, and I work my way all the way up, and I just keep doing that because usually I can. That did not help. That did not help at all. It was rough. Plus, my sleeping pad kept deflating.
Yeah.
It deflated twice, and it was just a slow lowering onto a bed of rocks.
Of clay and rocks.
Yeah, and then
clay and sharp rocks.
So, to be improved. I also might get a new sleeping pad at some point.
I will say that the hike and the views made up for the bad night of sleep tenfold.
Oh, 100%.
Like if
100%.
If we went back out there and did the same thing again, and we had to have like if we had to do the whole thing again, and the whole caveat was like, You're have to have that shitty tent. Mm-hmm. Everything's the same. I'd still do it again because it was really fucking cool out there.
Dude, when it was on an old mining trail, and you just kind of get up over a hill at one point, and it goes from, you're hiking in this canyon to you are an ant on this planet, and you are nothing.
Because you basically, it doesn't feel like you're about to, but you crest like up this donkey trail. You walk up a trail a little bit where you're like, okay, this is about to cut to the right, but you get up and all of a sudden you're on the peak
basically
of,
a cliff.
You're on the peak of this ridge that drops down into a valley on both sides. And then there's a trail. The trail, instead of going off to the right, loops over and takes you down into that valley further back in. And it was just the coolest thing because I feel like every single time we would get around a corner or we would get to the top of something, it was just like, whoa, what the fuck?
It was just different.
It was just
and
every
huge.
time it was unexpected, and it was such a trip, but it was so fucking cool and fun.
Yeah. No, I can't wait to go hiking again.
Yeah,
same. I can't wait, especially if I bring the right shoes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We left early. Well, what's early for me? So 8 a.m. And it was dark in my front room, and I just slipped on my shoes, and I knew they were my hiking shoes because there's a pull tab at the heel, and there's the little elastic on the front that you tighten, push the button in, pull it, and tighten it. So I'm like, oh, these are my hiking shoes. I put them on. We're like,
those are your nursing shoes.
How
buddy.
far in were we? Were we in Wendover?
Yeah, we had gotten to Wendover, which was a 2.5, 3 hour drive out there. We were walking into the bathroom. We both went to the bathroom. I came out, and you were like, I didn't bring my hiking shoes. And I was like, what? And you were like, yeah, these are my fucking puncture-proof nursing shoes. And I was like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? You didn't notice that when we stopped and got gas?
I broke them in.
Yeah, broke them in, but, I mean, luckily
they worked.
We didn't have to go as far as we originally planned.
Yeah.
But it turned out really well.
Turned out they worked. I got to clean them because I got a new job next week.
Yeah.
And I got to wear them. So.
Yeah, homeboy's going to be working it as a nurse.
Yeah. Got to get the pay because they're going to start taking out those student loans.
So if you live in Utah, don't get hurt or you'll have to meet AJ.
Yeah, you do not want to meet me as a nurse. My bedside manner is terrible.
Also, if you're going to meet AJ at his job, at his future job, you should probably give it like 10 to 15 years to listen to this show. You shouldn't be listening to it right now.
That's fair.
Turn this off.
Yeah, don't listen right now.
You have school tomorrow.
Yeah, it's late. You got to go to school. Yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool, good shit.
Other big news. This is
transition. I know where you're going with this
news. Grover, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
We've got a new patron. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, the most anonymous and mysterious and meme patron
I will be doing everything I can to figure out who you are
the
forever.
Coolest shit.
Because I love it. I
Funny
love it.
as
It's
hell.
anonymous email address, no mailing address. Grover, and it's a picture of Grover, and I love
From
it.
Sesame
I'm here
Street.
for it.
That's our new Sesame Street
I absolutely
sponsor.
love it. Yeah, sponsored by Sesame Street.
Hey, Grover, if you can afford it, we would love to have you on the board.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, but glad you're here.
Hilarious.
And you may have noticed, you should have gotten an email that, even though the post fucked up the way I set it up originally, you can now get ad-free podcasts, all of them.
Yeah.
And your own RSS feed. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. But basically,
through Patreon.
Through our
Patreon, all of our Patreon subscribers, except for our free tier.
Yeah, all paying patrons. All you got to do is, I know how to do it on the desktop. I don't have the app. You can listen on the app. Like, you can use the app as a podcast thing if you want. Or you go to the website, go to the membership tab, and at the bottom it'll say, oh, do you want to link your account with Spotify? If you do, then you'll get every audio post that we post on Patreon. So that's the exclusives, sloppy seconds, voices, all of those. And the regular full episodes will just go to the Spotify, your Spotify account. And then if you don't use Spotify, there are a ton of other apps. We had them up.
Big breakdown in the instructions link that's in that
click on the
post.
instructions, and you can it'll show you where to get it, how to, you copy it, where to paste it, how to put it on there, and then basically you can listen on a ton of different apps to the ad-free version. That's what you get now.
Yeah, and if it confuses you and you need help,
messages.
Send us a message on Patreon, and address it only to AJ.
Yeah. Yeah,
because I won't see it.
I will likely direct you to the instructions, but I'll help you walk through it.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on?
There are some troubleshooting stuff in the instructions are very, very good that I link to in that post. So if you don't even know what an RSS feed is, it'll tell you what it is. It stands for really simple syndication.
But yeah, a little before the show plug. If you would like an exclusive episode every month, if you would like to listen to AJ's series called Voices, or if you want the entire catalog of our Sloppy Seconds episodes, which will continue coming out, go subscribe to us on
Every episode
Patreon.
ad-free of the main show.
And every episode ad-free. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/points-o-pressure. We also have a free tier on there that will give you the very first exclusive episode that we've ever done, and it also gives you the conclusion to the Jonestown series, God and Murder, and that's available to anyone that has a Patreon account, whether you pay or whether it's free. You'll have access to those. Go check it out. That way, if you can't afford to support us, you support us that way.
Yeah,
both
love
really
to see you
fun
on there.
episodes, and I think both of them are on mine. So
Was
I'd
the
like
first
to think,
episode yours?
I think so. I think it's the heist one.
I think so. Yeah.
The Japanese heist. Yeah, go check it out.
Wow, spoilers.
Amazing. Honestly,
Fantastic
some of our
episodes.
best episodes ever.
100%. The worst intros possible, but you do get all
of
color
them, All of them are
images.
cold opens, so
We really need to fix
strap
that.
if you do not want that, go to our fucking Instagram and follow, because I know you pieces of shit have them. and she puts a lot of work into it, and you get a lot of cool additional
extra content.
images and content and context that you wouldn't get because it's more official and not as memey as we fucking are and stupid as we are on this show. So check that out. She deserves all the credit that she puts into it because it's phenomenal. I can't think of anything else prior to this or that we need to do before the episode other than check out shop.pointsofpressure.com.
If you're interested.
Yeah, I mean, at least just go to it.
Yeah.
So,
and pointsofpressure.com. Leave us a voicemail.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end of the episode.
I mean, hey, may as well.
Just kidding. All right. So, June 18th, 1875.
You know what's burning besides my urine?
Yeah.
The Dublin River.
Yeah, sure. We're on Chamber Street in Dublin.
And what country is that in?
Ireland.
Okay. What ocean is that in?
The Atlantic.
Okay.
Great job. Malone's Malt House is cooking up 5,000 barrels of their finest fucking whiskey.
Oh, that sounds amazing right now.
Great goddamn whiskey.
I would love 5,000 barrels of whiskey.
Yeah, right. They keep it in a storehouse next door to the distillery. Clearly, because if your distillery explodes, you don't want it to fucking blow up all of your product as well.
Yeah.
4:45 is pretty standard for closing time, or at least where you start wrapping everything up at Malone's.
Closing time.
You're gonna get us fucking removed. We're gonna DMCA for that.
Yeah, right.
So everyone's going through, doing their little nightly checks and everything. Want to make sure everything's set and good for the night, and that they're okay to turn it off, probably for the weekend because it's a Saturday. It's looking A-okay. Nothing seems to be sticking out to everybody. It's just a standard day. They're like, fuck it, whatever, we got tomorrow off. Thumbs up, A-okay. Put your initials next to the date. Let's fucking go enjoy the weekend,
Let's go get some whiskey.
Yeah. So Chamber Street itself is kind of an industrial district. You do have people that live down there, but a lot of it is just like you've got tanneries, you've got little like the pubs that everybody goes to after they finished work. You have other distilleries and breweries. Potato processing plants.
Vodka.
Corned beef.
Just kidding.
Canned corned beef companies. All sorts of industrial shit.
Cabbage washing.
Yeah, cabbage cleaning. So, super industrial district. Not a lot of people that live down here, but still a few that do. Still super fucking busy all hours of the day kind of thing.
Yeah, hopping. So,
it's about 8 p.m. People are just hanging out at the pubs, grabbing a bite to eat after a long day's work, socializing, doing their thing. And everyone hears an alarm go off from Malone's. And they turn and they can see in the windows of Malone's, not in the storehouse, thank God, but in the windows of Malone's, like, there's obviously a fire. Like, very clearly, oh, shit, there's a fucking fire at Malone's. Damn. Like, hold on to your whiskey. Yeah, hold on to your fresh bottles because Malone's might not be around for much longer. So the fire brigade is notified, and the fire spreads quickly. I mean, it's a fucking distillery. I don't know if you aren't aware of what a distillery has in it. Alcohol, which is extremely fucking flammable.
Especially when it's being distilled into a vapor.
So it's cooking quick. And a lot of people that work there that know the ins and outs of Malone's are like, bro, this cannot get to the fucking storage house or else this whole street's
everything's
just gone.
going.
So the fire brigade itself, not really all that great. It's not. The Dublin Fire Brigade in 1875 consists of 15 men.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think any fire brigade in 1865 is pretty shitty. 75, sorry. Is probably pretty shitty.
But none of them are trained professionals. They're all basically just
put water on fire.
Yeah, exactly that.
Put the wet stuff on the hot stuff.
Yeah, we respond, and we don't care if we fucking burn alive because we don't really have protective gear in 1875.
Yeah.
So
dude,
it's
okay. I'm gonna derail you.
Yeah, you're good.
Just
Go
briefly.
for it. Treat yourself.
Look up. Maybe we can do an Instagram post about this. Probably not. But 1800s fire protective equipment. There was some experimental shit out there that will blow your mind. Let me make sure I've got it right here. 1875 firefighter gear.
They're fucking goofy helmets. This shit like that.
Yeah, they have goofy ass helmets, but there were some helmets at this time. I think it was pretty close to this time period. Yeah, they look like
fucking
like a
wannabe Spartans.
Yeah, but like a hose would attach to the helmet, and then it would spray water in a cone around your feet, and then you were expected to walk into the fire. See, they didn't really stick.
Oh yeah, I found it. There we go. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send that. Because you would walk into the fire and it would spray, and then it would steam you alive. Because it would hit the fire, turn to steam, and cook you like a lobster.
Good God.
Yeah, so
that's cool. I didn't know that. That's cool.
There's a lot of the pipes were wooden as well, and they would just be, depending on the city, you know, if you didn't have underground, you know, water supply. So they would just have these big, basically logs that are hollowed out, stacked up on each other, and then there would be a big cork in the top. And then you'd siphon out the water you need from that, and you just hope that it's not broken down.
Jesus.
There's some weird
it would make
shit.
sense. It's like right when you're in the industrial age, so you're like running into all these OSHA problems. I mean, not even OSHA, but like you're running into all these problems that it's just like, how the fuck do we make this as easy on ourselves as possible?
Well, it's not even that. It's that
I like the little sprinkler hat, though.
The sprinkler hat's great. It's also that you are fighting fires in buildings that either house or are made of new materials.
Yeah, materials you don't really know how to respond
Especially, organophosphate is obviously used a lot, but that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say it's petrochemicals. Petroleum-based synthetic fibers are, you know, becoming a thing. I don't know how much asbestos is used, but that's great for some reasons. But like modern houses nowadays burn faster than any wood beam lath and plaster house back in the day, because
there's so much synthetic
every
shit,
synthetic material basically that we use in houses is petroleum-based. And that shit burns.
It's cheaper, yeah.
And it's cheap. So this is like when materials are changing, when what you're actually making and producing, because of the Industrial Revolution is changing.
Yeah, it's harder to figure out how to put out these fucking fires.
So the fires are burning hotter, faster, and just you've still got horse-drawn carriages with a pump on top.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll actually get to that too.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, Malone's is running into some issues. Fire brigade is like, all right, we'll respond, but this is gonna take a while.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah, they're not terribly experienced. Yeah, they're all just fucking volunteers. So they set off via horse and buggy to the area, and they know that if they don't get there quickly enough, things can get out of hand because it is an industrial district. Not only do you have a ticking time bomb that's a distillery, but you also have all of these other things, just like you talked about, where it's going to change how you have to respond building per building.
Yeah, like fires are able to spread differently because buildings used to be built either closer together or like nowadays, they're still built, end to end touching, but there are laws of which the material between the buildings have to be able to be fire resistant for X amount of time.
Well,
and stuff like that.
In a lot of those buildings, you also, not necessarily at the time, but now you have like fire blocking and shit that you have to put in.
And they didn't
walls.
have this.
They didn't have that. Sometimes it just fed straight up to the next floor.
Sometimes it was the board that was the ceiling was also the floor and the next floor.
So
especially when you're sewing.
out of nowhere, the roof of each building just ignites and basically explodes upwards.
So the
And
distillery
each building,
and the supply?
Yeah,
Ooh.
the distillery and the little storage next to it. Both of them fucking boom. And 30-foot high flames shoot up into the sky. And because Malone's isn't really the best setup, that fire shifted over to the storehouse, and nobody really noticed that it had because of how these buildings were built. So, boom, huge explosion. Everyone's like, oh, this is fucked. Like,
Yeah.
this is
Oh,
bad news
fuck.
bears. But every single doorway in the storage area doesn't have a sealed doorstop, which is huge. Don't say anything.
I won't.
So what happens is when all this fire ignites, it cooks a lot of these barrels. Some of these barrels fucking burst because of the heat
Ooh, I
that's
bet
on
that
the outside.
charred, smoky flavor in the whiskey is good,
I bet
though.
it smelled so fucking good
Oh
on
my
on
God.
Chambers Street. So suddenly, because there's not sealed doorstops, whiskey starts pouring into the fucking street. From the doorway, it's a 2-foot wide, 6-inch tall, couple 100-foot long, just like constant river of this,
Just a river of whiskey.
pouring out of this building. That's 5,000 barrels, dude.
Holy that's so much.
And this isn't just whiskey pouring out in the street. That's cool as shit. I don't know if you know this about whiskey or alcohol. It is extremely fucking flammable.
Huh?
So this river of whiskey is also on fire, rushing down the street, a very busy post-work street.
I imagine that the whiskey is first and the fire is behind it, just
slowly
perfectly
catching up,
paced.
yeah. Now, if you haven't listened to the episode, season 6, episode 22, the beer tsunami,
That's what I was
it's
thinking
a
of.
fucking fun episode.
It is a fun episode. I like
get
these
into
ones.
the London beer flood in that one, and then it's pretty wild. So yeah, this is it's really fucking bad, but you have a lot of people that just got off work, and this isn't their fucking problem. They're a couple drinks deep, and suddenly, even though it's fiery whiskey pouring down the road, a lot of these people look at it and they go, bruh, that's coming from Malone's. I know what that shit is. So tons of people start rushing out into the streets. And I mean, like I said, they've been fucking drinking. Some of them are like, they're hearing commotion from pubs and they're like, what do you mean whiskey's flowing down the fucking road? I don't have to keep buying drinks here? Fuck yeah.
Dude, I'm just
So
imagining
people rush out to
yeah.
the streets and they're just like the mugs that they were just drinking out of in the bar, they take out there and they're scooping
Yeah,
up.
you just scoop and then blow
Yeah.
the top,
Just-
blow the fire out.
Yeah, I mean, scoop it and put like a covered end over the top of the fucking
Oh,
like that fire's out, easy
Dude.
peasy, and it's a nice
I
smoky
bet that
whiskey
tastes
now.
so
yeah,
good because you know the fire is used in mixology and
Yeah,
cocktails
yeah.
and stuff to like
Yeah,
you know
kinda-
add the smoky flavor,
it
but also it
toasts
does something
the,
like it toasts like
it caramelizes a lot of the
caramelizes
sugars
the sugar,
that
that's
are
what
in-
it is,
in
yeah.
some of these, especially with a whiskey, that would do
yeah.
phenomenal things.
Fuck.
So these guys are drinking great whiskey. This is, in their eyes, just a fucking blessing from
This is the
God.
best thing that's
They're
ever
like,
happened to
This
Dublin.
is the greatest day of my life. People are getting out the mugs that they were drinking from in pubs. I mean, if I had a full beer at a pub, I'm dumping that
Oh,
shit
yeah.
out. Fuck it.
I already paid for this.
Pub owners are sending out people with bowls and jugs to fill up.
Fuck yeah.
Because I mean, that's free. Sell it tomorrow.
So
Like,
tomorrow as
Yeah.
as the last
Yeah.
stock from
Yeah,
that distillery.
The last fucking bottle you'll ever have of Malone's. And there are people out there even with they're taking their boots off and they're just
Oh, fuck
scooping
yeah.
up whiskey.
Dude, you know you're down bad when you're drinking whiskey out of a boot.
That shit's fresh. I drink whiskey out of a boot. If
Well, it
was
depends whose
pouring down
boot.
the street, fuck yeah.
Depends whose boot.
Free at my boot. If I'm taking my own boots off, fuck it.
Oh,
Why
oh.
not? I sucked on my own toes. I don't give a shit.
If Rihanna's boot was there,
yeah, any boot. Fuck it.
any boot in a storm.
Yeah, to hell with it. Yeah, so everyone's just going fucking crazy. Getting tons of free ass whiskey. Some people run up and scoop it into their hands, blow it off, and then
Fuck yeah.
and then are drinking it.
I love this energy.
They're having a grand old time, and it's in the best fucking place for this to happen. Because Malone's is an Irish whiskey. This isn't like
it's
some
not like they're
weird,
making
shitty
whiskey to
off-brand.
send off to
Like,
anywhere.
they're like, hey, we make this for fucking locals, man. Like, this is locally made. We do it right here. People are fans of Malone's whiskey, dude.
I want to make whiskey.
So, the only caveat is that as people are drinking this, and I mean, it's a river of it. So it's kind of like you're not going to bathe in it because it's on fire.
Yeah.
But
that's not great.
But it's free. There's what seems to be a pretty unlimited resource for the night when it comes to whiskey. Drink the fuck up. But as people are drinking it, they're like, this is fucking strong.
Oh.
So, Malone's regular bottling process is to dilute everything down when it's bottled.
Yeah, at the end.
Because it saves on space.
Yeah.
The amount of whiskey that they currently have would probably be 10,000 barrels if it was diluted down.
Yeah, so they're probably
you're
drinking,
having
what,
whiskey
80,
that's
90%?
Like, yeah, they're having like fucking 160 proof whiskey
Ooh.
right now.
Yeah, damn.
And, I mean, I don't know if you've ever had something that's stronger than like 100 proof. That shit is rough.
Yeah, I've had, 151. That's the classic. I think that's the highest.
Yeah,
that shit sucks.
I would imagine. Shit,
was that 75?
Basically, fucking paint.
Oh
thinner,
God, that shit.
The other
rough.
problem is that when this isn't diluted down, this is gonna burn for a fucking minute.
Oh yeah.
This is a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, the thing with fire is that it only burns the shit on top. It can't burn below. So it's basically burning. You have your whiskey, then you have the fumes. It's burning the fumes on top of the whiskey and creating more fumes with the heat.
Yeah, as it fucking
as
shifts.
it burns through like a candle. So it's gonna take a long
it's gonna take a very
time.
long time for this. Fire brigade shows up to what I would consider a complete and utter clusterfuck.
A party.
Shops down the street are already starting to catch fire as flames have shifted from Whiskey River to anything that it's coming in contact with. It has only been 15 minutes at this point. On top of that, people who are already drunk are chugging.
Oh,
like
you're right.
Double proof whiskey.
So because they were already drinking at the beginning, and they're just expecting regular whiskey.
Yeah. When they
I bet if you're
arrive-
chugging drinks, you're not gonna like pick up on, wow, that's really strong immediately.
Because you're like, oh, this burns. Damn.
Oh, I got to eat this quick because I got to drink this quick because it's flowing past me.
So in the 15 minutes that the alarm has been off, mind you, the alarm went off, and I don't know the amount of time between the alarm going off and the storehouse exploding and this river pouring out. This has only been in 15 minutes that it took them to get there.
I bet that's enough.
There are 8 men that are fully in need of medical assistance as they are comatose.
They got alcohol poisoning that fast?
They are blacked the fuck out.
Holy shit.
Well, dude.
Well, yeah,
imagine
you're not
having
it.
like that liquor that you have.
Yeah.
Imagine having
like a mug of that. Oh my
not
god,
even
I'd be
a
dead.
mug. Imagine cupping your hands together.
It would melt my skin off.
Yeah, that's like I don't know, a half a cup, like four shots of that immediately.
Oh my god!
Like
no, I would die.
Yeah,
I would die.
Pass
I
the
would be
fuck
dead.
out, and there's a fiery river pouring down the street. And when you're knocked out, it kind of makes it a little bit harder to fight it when they're having to step over bodies. So 8 fucking people are KO'd and have to be carried out of there. And because of the scope and how bad things have gotten out of hand so quickly, the police, or not the police, the fire brigade is like, we need fucking help. So
we need everyone.
They get help they reach out and get hundreds of police and military members.
Yeah, you
and
need to deploy the military
for
this.
We need everybody out here because this is going to burn Dublin down.
Half the town is going to be blacked out and drowning in their own vomit. Like, that's rough.
Captain James Ingram is the one that makes that call to involve the police and military, who are just as well trained in fighting fires as his entire fucking group. And James realizes, he shows up, and I think that James, he just gets it. Like, I think he's the only one that probably understood what the fuck this fire's going to do.
Well, he was on till 5.
He's probably the only one, right.
So he didn't get to drink yet.
Yeah. So James is like, we can't fight this fire right now. As it currently stands, fighting this river of whiskey that's burning is only going to hurt us more.
It's like throwing,
because if we they don't have fucking fire extinguishers, they have water that they're hooking up to, and they're like, so
it's like throwing water on a gasoline fire.
So his brain switches on, and he's like, holy shit, if we fucking throw water at this, the alcohol is going to rise to the top, spread out further, and all we're doing is we're just adding to how fast this is going to go. So he tells everyone, he's like, do not pour any fucking water on this. We need to go further down the road. So he gets his whole team and a bunch of police and military, and he's like, we're going to dig this fucking road up. Yeah. So they start shoveling gravel off the road, building like this little wall, more or less just a dam to stop Whiskey River. And they're like, if it stops here, we can just keep it here, burn itself out while we handle everything that's burning, everybody's homes and businesses that are burning on fucking Chambers Street. This is just, there's nothing we can do. We just have to let it burn itself out.
Yeah.
So they're shoveling and shoveling and shoveling, and as they're shoveling and Whiskey River catches up to them, they're like, okay, we're getting there, we're good, but people are noticing that the gravel is getting wet on the side that they're on. It's seeping through this little makeshift
They got to divert
dam.
it.
And as the pressure keeps pushing up against this, it seeps further and further, and they don't have time to react, and it just kind of seeps through, and it continues, and the fire continues.
They just slowed it down for a second.
So they slowed it down for a minute. They fucking rush out of the way. It continues on its path of destruction, and Captain James is like, okay, what the fuck do we do now? And he turns to his right because he notices that the horses in the buggy they're getting nervous.
Fire's getting close.
There's fire just moving everywhere. So these horses are kind of hopping up and down, and he's like, fuck, the horses. And then he thinks, and he's like, the horses.
Light them on fire.
And he goes, because everything that we run is horse-drawn, we have massive amounts of manure back at the fire station. And then he turns to his left and he sees tanning station, tanning station, tanning station, tanning station. And he's like, all of those places also have animals that make manure, and we have a ton of fucking ash that we can add to it.
Is he making a shit wall?
Yeah. Because you add the ash to this waxy manure, and it's more or less a watertight seal. It's not going to fucking
all right,
seep
boys,
through.
get your stirring sticks.
Yeah. So he yells to everybody. He's like, hey, look, go to these tanning stations, go to these tanners, get as much of their manure that they have as you possibly fucking can. And everyone's like, what the fuck is your problem? And he's like, just trust me, do it. And meet me down at this area where this river is going to flow to. So
amazing.
They get all this ash. They get all this fucking manure. They're just mixing it up and slapping it onto the road. Because it's like you can't fill and set up sandbags because the outside of the sandbag is just going to burn anyway.
And it's going to just squeeze around it.
So they build this shitty dam, the world's shittiest dam that saved Dublin.
It's the world's second shittiest dam because we already did an episode about the world's shittiest dam.
Yeah, right.
Fuck.
This one actually worked, though.
Oh, so that's the difference, yeah.
So they're just building this manure dam, and it stops the flow. Yeah.
I was thinking, like, don't people use manure to like light fires? But that's when it's dried. So I guess if it's fresh, plenty of water.
They're just slapping this shit on,
fucking
mixing it all up with the ash. It's more or less creating this like quick cement.
Yeah. So the idea being, you build a tank, it's not flowing anywhere, and you just let it burn down.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it allows you, instead having to worry about where this is going to continue flowing, now you can mitigate all of these businesses. You can
stop
put out
it from
the fires
spreading in certain spots.
You can put out all the fires that are on this street.
Yeah.
And warn everyone, hey, stay away from it.
Stop
We're
drinking
gonna stay here.
It's now touching the poop wall. You don't want to drink it anymore.
We're going to stay here, and we'll make sure that nobody else's homes and businesses burn down. But, like, we have it, at the very least, contained.
Yeah, we figured it out for now.
It takes until 4 a.m. for this to burn out.
Damn, that's a lot of whiskey.
8-hour burn. And it burns itself out. They manage to save some businesses. There are a few homes and businesses that ultimately are destroyed, and people are, I mean, it's unfortunate, but they're kind of SOL. But ultimately, luckily, nobody died directly from the fire. No one died
from the fire.
Yeah, no one died from their home burning down.
That's good.
Nobody died getting hit by a wall of fucking whiskey and burning and dying. The only people that died were 13 men that all died of alcohol poisoning over the course of the next couple of days.
13.
Yeah.
That is
crazy. A ton of pigs died because they either lapped up some of the fucking whiskey and it was alcohol poisoning, or some of these tanning stations had pigs that just went fucking crazy in all the commotion and ended up catching fire and dying.
Rest in peace, my brothers.
Yeah, R.I.P. Piggos. And the most unfortunate death of all, one dog died.
Oh.
Now, when everything was going on, the dog went over and just started drinking this whiskey, right? When dogs get alcohol in their system, it doesn't respond the same way as humans. It didn't get poisoned. It didn't die of alcohol poisoning. It went into more or less like a psychosis. And it just started tripping fucking balls. Damn. This dog went insane, ran into somebody's house, was knocking over furniture. The guy that owned the home was like, it was foaming at the mouth. I thought I had fucking rabies, but like, it's a dog that lives on the street. Yeah. It's not like it's just like suddenly rabid. He's like, I think it drank a bunch of the shit. It was going fucking insane. Rushed at me, and I had to hit it with like a iron bar that I had in my house.
Oh, Jesus.
The dog was still alive. It ran up the stairs, and it, freaking the fuck out, jumped out of a top-story window.
Suicide. Landed
on its head in the street and died.
I bet the CIA was involved with that.
Probably, yeah.
We've heard that.
It was an LSD dog.
Yeah, yeah. They spiked the whiskey with LSD.
So yeah, R.I.P. Fido. Even though he went into a drunken rage.
Yeah, at least he was out of his mind.
Still cooler than Balto.
That's for fucking.
If you know,
yeah, that's
you know.
True.
Hey,
fuck.
Check out the exclusives for that one. After everything, only 61 barrels were remaining. So 4,900 barrels burst and added to this fucking river. That is so much.
So much. And the company declared bankruptcy immediately.
3 barrels were found floating down a river. A different river, not the Whiskey River. I think it was the Coombs River.
Nice.
Floating down the river with 6 really fucking drunk dudes, kind of
just like
making
floating on
sure
them?
that they're fucking not bursting at the on the shore, kind of just walking these things down the river.
They're taking them home.
Drunk as shit.
They're taking them
like,
home.
fuck yeah, dude, this is free as fuck. They get caught and the police arrest them.
Oh. No, they're freedom fighters.
Right? But, yeah, 61 barrels survived. Many homes and businesses were burnt as a result, like I said, displacing a lot of families. It was really unfortunate. But, I mean, it's better that your family's not dead, I guess. And it ended up leading to better precautions within Ireland's distilleries. Because of the door seal situation, a lot of other distilleries were like, we would be completely fucked. Like, Malone's is going to be responsible to help out these families, pay for some of these businesses, for homes, for the damages that they caused. A lot of other distilleries were like, we don't want to deal with any of that shit. So Irish distilleries started putting in door seals where they had their storerooms.
That's good.
They saw how bad just 15 minutes of burning can affect one distillery.
Yeah.
And all of these Irish distilleries had firefighters and fire units on site at all times, like a 24 round-the-clock fire
Just
brigade.
wait till they learn about sprinkler systems.
Yeah, right? A lot of people prior to this in Dublin didn't want to pay for trained professional firefighters. And so that's why the brigade didn't have anyone trained, is because they didn't have city funding. They weren't getting taxpayer money to make this a better and better brigade. But because of what happened, people changed their tune. And they were like, hey, you know what? I think it would be beneficial. And I'm sure that knowing that Captain James made ultimately one of the fucking best maneuvers.
Oh, you bitch.
That having more people like that could have saved this even further. More trained eyes are going to fucking make a huge difference.
Is good. That's crazy.
And so the fire brigade grew. Irish distilleries were taking for the most part, the proper precautions.
Yeah. They were taking some precautions at least.
Yeah, and ultimately it led to a better and safer environment when it came to Irish whiskey.
Yeah, there you go.
So, kids, if you see a river of whiskey pouring down the street, if you fill up a mug with it, just drink responsibly.
Yeah.
You don't need to chug it.
You don't know the proof.
Yeah. You have a whole goddamn mug of whiskey.
This is what you do. You get a mug.
You can wait for a minute.
You walk home.
Yeah.
You put it down. Don't drink it.
Yeah.
Get as many other containers as you can. Run back. Fill all of them up. Bring them home. Make sure they have a lid on them because alcohol evaporates.
Have a sniff.
And then drink as much as you want in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah. But still
pace yourself.
Within
reason. Drink responsibly.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank God. Ultimately, thank God for the Irish whiskey fire.
Thank God for Malone.
Yeah. Thank God
Post
for
Malone.
Malone
Post
Distillery.
Malone's Distillery.
Well, if like I said before, if you guys are interested in an exclusive episode every month, some sloppy seconds episodes like 30 plus.
We got to lead with
AJ's
ad-free
really
now.
cool. What was that?
We got to lead with ad-free now.
Oh, I'm just in the fucking motion of it all. The full back catalog ad-free, every upcoming episode ad-free. If you would like AJ's series called Voices, that covers just any Holocaust victims and their stories, check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/pointsopressure. And Grover, we love you and we appreciate you. You got those names?
Of course, we've got the board. They demanded ad-free in a memo.
This is
apparently.
This is true, yeah. This is true.
Minnie D, Thomas, and Toddle Waddle. Thank you all so much. Really, they're the innovators here.
Yeah,
they really, they really push the envelope. Keep us on our toes.
Yeah, they were the ones that pushed for the ad-free, not
Yeah.
me. Not me a couple days before they asked for it.
No, never. And then, of course, we've got Abby, AJ's Third Nut, Nordic Thunder, Weston, Dark Runner, D's Nuts, G-Dog, Grover,
Fucking Grover.
Hayden, Laura Revo, and Lindo. Thank you all so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys are the best.
And, we love the interaction in the Patreon. If you guys start commenting and liking the shit and doing all that stuff, then, I've got some plans for some more community involvement stuff coming up so we can talk about episodes and episode ideas and stuff like that.
And if you would like further discussion, check us out on Reddit, Pressure Points. I don't know how the fuck we got it, but r/pressure points. Go subscribe to us there. We pin every single new episode as a discussion post every single week it comes out. So go check it out, subscribe. And as always, if you guys ever have any recommendations for movies, TV shows, books, your favorite fucking nuts to eat, whatever, like restaurants, I don't give a shit. If you want to talk to us at all, reach out to us on Instagram at pointsopressure. Send us an email at ppdnaj@gmail.com or go to our website and send us a voicemail or an email there, and we will catch you fuckers next Monday. Peace.